everyone. My name is Ellie, and I am a soul that has awakened in a very unawakened world. I'm going to start making videos really documenting my journey, but also in hopes that a lot of my videos can help so many of you out there who are also trying your best and your darnest to navigate this very insane experience that you're currently having, where you are waking up to the illusions of everything that we've ever known. And you are not only waking up to the external world, but you are waking to the internal. And it is not by any means a cookie cutter journey. Every soul's journey that is here to wake up is individual and unique and beautiful on its own. And I am here 5 years into my journey, and I can tell you that, man, I'm just getting started. And so I really want to create a video series just talking about all the experiences that I have, all the things that I move through, all the challenges that come up for me, and how I move through all of them. It's definitely been it's insane, like I think growing up, I, was very Christian and grew very religious and had no connection to the divine and no connection to all the magical things that are of this existence, that exist in this existence, really disconnected, really cut off from so many things. And it wasn't until I, had my crazy breakdown back in 2019 actually, where I really started to awaken to myself. My name is Ellie, and I am a soul that has awakened in a very unawakened world. And I am making these videos now in hopes that I'll connect to, people that are also on the path like me. If you're someone who has woken up to the illusions of this world, and also have woken up to all of your stuff and who you've been all of this time, and now you're on the path of what it means to heal, what it means to evolve, what it means to elevate, then this YouTube channel is for you. I am just a regular schmegular girl who grew up very disconnected from my soul, grew up very religious, and was on a journey of trying to get through this life and trying to fit into this world and trying to understand what this existence was. I have been someone that has been through a plethora of emotional distress and challenges in my life. And now, as I'm on walking the path 5 years of, truly becoming the truth of who I am and healing everything that is not the real me, I have discovered and uncovered, holy shit, I really came here in this lifetime to do the damn thing. And no wonder my life has been challenging in all of its ways. I'm sure if you're somebody that is watching this video, it's because you have not had an easy life either. You have been someone that probably has felt different your entire life, and you've always tried to fit in, to fit yourself, to be like others, to mold yourself, and the whole time you just knew that you were trying to fit a circle in a square peg. And that in itself has been some of the most challenging times of my life. And just really wanting to understand what all of this is about. What is this life? Who am I? Where do I come from? What's the meaning of any of this? I struggled for a really, really long time. And, I think that there's people love to tell their stories. And I think that there is an important or necessary aspect of telling your story, but people get trapped at their story. And it's really not about your story, right? I'll never forget my mentor saying this. She said, it's about who you became and who you've become and who you're becoming because of the story and the life you've lived. And I was like, oh shit, that's fire. So I'm really here to just document and just hope that my videos help people out there, because I know that the path that you're navigating is not easy. And there's so much stuff out there on the internet, right? There's so many, spiritual content creators and, all kinds of people claiming to be teachers, and there's channelers and there's psychics and there's all of this stuff. And I spent 3 years really trying to put pieces together. And I was doing the best that I could, but it wasn't until I started really walking the path of what it means to be a truly awakened being and I found the spiritual teacher to guide me, where I started to really understand who I am and what I'm here to do, and how to go into everything that I'm not, to really learn how to alchemize it, to transmute it, to transform it. How do we connect back to our souls? How do we connect back to the truth of who and what we are? That's the journey that I'm on. And these videos that I will make will be just, an entire, an entire series on all of that. And I'm not just making these videos to just talk about me, but I know that so much of what I'm going to be speaking about is going to hit home for you. So let's get it started. I first want to talk about this. I think that since I was a little girl, oh my God, I always knew, and really feel into this for yourself, okay? Really feel into this for yourself. I always knew that there was something different about me. And I don't mean it in an egoic way, like I'm special. Like I always knew I was not like other people. And I really struggled with that. Like I look around at like my classmates or my cousins, or just the people around me. And I was always an observer. I would just watch people. And I would watch people and I would see the way that they moved around. I would see the way they would speak, that they would interact, and how they existed in this world. And I would be so confused because I knew that how they were showing up in this world, I wasn't like that. I always felt like everyone else around me had a much easier time being here than I did. And that was always really confusing to me. I didn't understand why I felt that way. I didn't understand what was wrong with me. I really thought that I had some serious issues. And when you're not being nurtured, right, and when you're not being guided by enlightened parents, or anybody around you that's telling you, hey, the reason why you feel different is this, and that, or the reason why you feel like you're not like other people is this, and that. What happens over time is you create all of these wounds, right? And so I started, creating all of these wounds, and I'm going to refer to this a lot in my video series as programs, okay? We all run a plethora of programs that we've all created at every different moment of your life. And when you don't process any of those wounds and those programs, they stay with you. And then you become an adult and you wonder why, you experience all of these things in your life that trigger so much uncomfortable stuff. Well, it's because you haven't processed anything, because no one's ever taught us how to do any of that. And so, I really developed really young that there was something wrong with me, that I was different, but it wasn't a good thing. And I had to learn really quickly how to survive this world, because I knew that I wasn't like other people, right? I knew when I was little, I was like, I just feel like I can feel things, right, deeper than a lot of people around me. I also knew that the way that I watched people, like, treat other people or be, I knew I wasn't like that. And that was very confusing to me. And I could tell that there was such an inward battle within myself, because I felt so sensitive and I felt so emotional and I always felt really tender, and I just couldn't understand how other people around me didn't feel the way that I felt. It was very confusing to me. And so I just developed all of this stuff of something's wrong with me, I'm weird, I'll never fit in. And so what do I need to do to survive this world? What do I need to become to make it through this life? Because I knew that who I really wasn't going to cut it. And so I just started studying people, and I started becoming of this world, right? Becoming, what the TVs told me, what pop culture told me to be, and what everyone else was like. And when you do that, you go farther and farther and farther away from your soul, right? Because this is not a world where we are all heart-centered, soul-led beings, right? We are all in our minds trapped in suffering and born and raised under a patriarchal world where everything is upside down. Everything is, excuse my French, but fucked up. And everything we're taught, everything we consume, everything is tainted. it's violent, it's misogynistic, it's just the lowest of the low, right? And on my path, I've learned, well, yeah, because this lifetime in particular, many of our souls came here to help this planet because of how fucked up it is, because of what we've done to Mother Earth, right? We have destroyed her on so many levels. I mean, the hell that exists on this planet is no joke. It's no fucking joke. And we came here to raise the level of consciousness, and we do that by individually going on the path of coming home to ourselves. And that path is truly the warrior's journey. It's truly the hero's journey, the heroine's journey. You know, it is not difficult. It is very difficult, the path that we're walking, but it's not impossible. Of course it's possible, right? We're all divinity herself. We are all creator herself. And so the journey that many of us are walking on is coming back to the knowing and the connection that that's what and who we are. So at a really young age, I really struggled emotionally, you know, like just cycling. I just had was just so much depression, so much anxiety, so much fear, just trying to get through every single day. Like sometimes, like, so I am in my late 30s, and every year that a birthday passes by, I reflect on, I cannot believe I made it this far, like truly, because there were many, 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 many times in my life where I was like, I can't do this. This is so hard on a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual level. Like this world, I don't know what this place is, but I don't like it, and I don't like being here. And I knew that the only way that I could get to the end was I had to get through, right? And now, obviously, I know that what I actually am is I'm a highly sensitive person, okay? Which, when I learned that that's what I was, so many pieces came together. So many pieces came together. And we'll go into a little bit about what a highly sensitive person is. The next thing is learning that I'm also an empath. And I mean, when you're that sensitive, right? And when you're empathic, I mean, the two of those together in this kind of world, I mean, of course, you're never going to feel like you fit in. Of course, you're going to feel like something's wrong with you. Of course, you're going to feel like you're not like other people. Of course, because you're not, right? And that doesn't mean that you're better or higher or anybody else. Your soul came in here as that. And the question is why? And for so long, I thought it was a weakness, right? And now I know that, no, it's a superpower. Highly sensitive people and empathic people are here to lead and become the new earth, right? And the old earth, what led in that world were people that were not empathetic, were people that were not sensitive, were people who were not tuned in, were people that were not connected to love and all the things that are connected to love, right? And that's why the world is so violent. That's why the world is so brutal. That's why we have so rape and sex trafficking and genocide and war and animal abuse. Like, it is hell on earth. And now I understand, like, okay, because I came in like this, because I'm meant to be a light in this world, like so many of you. And that doesn't come from ego at all. It's the truth. But I must become the light. I don't just think I'm the light, or I don't just declare I'm the light. No, I must become what I am. And becoming what I am is a journey. And we got to do the work to light this world up, because we got to ignite within ourselves. I will be referring to this book a lot. It is Mason's Way, The 20 Universal Ways of Oneness by Rachel Fiore. She is the spiritual teacher of this lifetime. She is my teacher. She is my mentor. This book is a sacred text. It is the 20 spiritual decrees to walk the path of becoming an enlightened, awakened being, to elevate your level of consciousness. It is so beautiful, this book, okay? And I'm going to read to you a little bit of what she's written about highly sensitive people and empaths, okay? So this is the chapter in the way of harmlessness and gentleness. Listen to this. Highly sensitive people and empaths are the light warriors who are here to lead humanity out of violence and destruction and into the harmlessness and gentleness that is expressed in the new golden age of harmony. Anyone who is a highly sensitive person or an empath shares a common soul purpose in this lifetime. Their global mission is to bring the way of harmlessness and gentleness to our planet and to humanity. If you are a highly sensitive person or an empath and you never knew what your mission was, you know it now. Even if you are not an HSP or an empath, chances are you know one. Okay? So she goes into HSPs feel extremely deeply. They tend to observe new environments before jumping in, and they need a lot of recovery time after interacting with others in order for their nervous systems to reset. HSPs can sense the emotion of others, including stress and anxiety, and then process this detection inside of themselves. Highly sensitive people are continuously processing subtle energies and stimuli in their environment and from other people, which makes them keenly aware of the most subtle energy behaviors in others. They'll notice someone's eyes shift or an attempt to hide their discomfort. They'll detect a subtle change in tone in someone's voice when they're lying. Nothing gets past an HSP. An HSP notices way more than the average person does. Then she goes into empaths, okay? And this is so beautiful. And for those people out there, like when you know that you're an empath, I mean, gosh damn, okay? So she talks about all the different types of empaths, but here's what she says specifically about empaths, okay? Empaths take the experience of being highly sensitive to affinity and beyond, so to speak. Empaths have the ability to sense and feel emotions and subtle energies of other beings and their surroundings. Empaths acutely detect and often absorb subtle energies in their environment and from other people, and then experience them within their own bodies in very deep ways. Since everything in the universe is made of energy, empaths can get very overwhelmed and overburdened with the energies around them. Your emotions are different frequencies of energies. Your thoughts are different frequencies of energy. Your physical sensations are frequencies of energy, all of which emit their frequencies continuously. Empaths are receptors to all of this. All empaths are also highly sensitive people. Highly sensitive people are not all empathic, okay? Just so you guys know that. Empaths actually acutely and efficiently tune into the pain of others and feel it as though it was their own inside of their own bodies and energetic system. Explains everything. And she goes into listing the top 5 empaths, which are general empaths, physical empaths, emotional empaths, intuitive empaths, universal empaths, hypersensitive empaths, and there are also so many different other kinds of empaths. Animal empaths, plant empaths, nature empaths. Like, it's fascinating. And for me specifically, I am an animal empath. And when I started to understand and really dive into that I'm an HSP and I'm an empath, I mean, my whole life made sense. Whole life. And so I'll finish this video at this. If you're somebody out there that completely resonates with, oh my God, I'm an HSP, or I'm an empath, or I'm both, I would highly suggest that you guys check out this book, The 20 Universal Ways of Oneness, and also just dive in and really understand what it means, and it will give you a lot of peace and a lot of clarity. So I hope this helps any of y'all, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.